In the summer of 1914, Europe was the center of the world. It was a continent of empires: the British, the French, the German, the Austro-Hungarian, and the Russian. To the average citizen, a general European war seemed like a relic of the past. But beneath the surface, a complex web of secret alliances and a frantic arms race had turned the continent into a powder keg. On June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, was assassinated in Sarajevo by Gavrilo Princip. What began as a localized Balkan crisis triggered the alliance system within 6 weeks. The world was at war, home by Christmas. That was the promise, Germany's strategy. The Schlieffen Plan was to knock France out of the war in 6 weeks. Before turning east to face Russia, they invaded through neutral Belgium, bringing Great Britain into the conflict. However, the plan stalled at the Battle of Aman. The introduction of the machine gun and heavy artillery made the open field maneuvers impossible. Soldiers dug in for protection by the end of 1914. A line of trenches stretched from the Swiss border to the North Sea. The war of movement was dead. The war of attrition had begun. 1915 and 1916 were the years of the meat grinder. At Verdun and the Somme, millions of shells were fired in battles that lasted months and moved the front lines only a few miles. This was the first total war. Science was weaponized. In April 1915, at the Second Battle of Ypres, Germany introduced poison gas. Soon, the sky was filled with the first knights of the air, and by 1916, the British landships crawled across no man's land. By 1917, the world was exhausted. Russia, crippled by internal collapse and starvation, descended into revolution. The Tsar was overthrown, and the new Bolshevik government signed a peace treaty with Germany, closing the Eastern Front. But Germany's victory in the East was offset by a fatal gamble: unrestricted submarine warfare, by sinking American merchant ships. They brought the industrial titan of the United States into the war. The Yanks were coming, and time was running out for the Central Powers. Germany launched one final, desperate spring offensive in 1918 to win the war before American numbers became overwhelming. They broke the stalemate, but they couldn't sustain the momentum. The Allied counterattack, the 100 Days Offensive, shattered the German lines at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The guns fell silent. The Great War ended for empires and killed nearly 20 million people. The Treaty of Versailles redrew the map of the world, but it left a legacy of debt and resentment in Germany. The war that was meant to end all wars had only set the stage for a second. Even Docker Act 20 years later,